Do you see this little suitcase that I very sloppily packed back again? So now it is open because I'm just too dumb to put everything back in here. But in case you don't recognize this, this is the new Girlcult Gold Digger Belle collection. I bought the whole collection of this new series from Girlcult, which was a bit of money. So hopefully in this kind of first impression review, this will really impress me. I already know that I love their eyeshadow formula, so I'm honestly very positive that this video is a win, and I will do this in more like a get ready with me style, so that's why we're starting with a no makeup face. And yeah, I thought I'm going to say more in this intro, but I won't, so let's start. So if you have never heard of Girlcult, it is a Chinese indie brand that was founded in 2018, and they basically focus a lot on like more so gothic-y artistry, more expression makeup. So this is definitely not a typical, you know, like these Korean soft doll makeups. This is really intense, colorful, dark, gothic-y. And when you purchase the whole collection, you get the items with this little suitcase that is quite nice. I will go through all the stuff that is in here. And extra to that, and of course, I'm a very bad YouTuber and I didn't prepare, so let me grab it here from my window. You also get a big hand mirror, which is absolutely amazing. I love big hand mirrors, so I'm a fan. And I just realized that there is still plastic here stuck on top. Want to have an ASMR moment? I'm sorry if you don't like that. I don't like that too usually, but peeling off plastic from surfaces is a level of ASMR that tickles something in me. The makeup items from this collection you can buy separately, but if you want to get the full collection or separate items, then you can buy them from lookhealthystore.com. This is not an ad, I bought this by myself. But I want to let you know I am affiliated with them. That means when you use my code ELLAGRAM, you can save 12% of everything without any restriction. With the other codes, you usually have to spend a certain amount of money, but my code, the 12%, they will apply at the first dollar or euro or whatever. Since this is a very often asked question, when you order on lookhealthystore.com, there are no customs. They are completely covered, and the shipping time usually takes 2 to 3 weeks. So if you buy the full collection, you get, aside from every item of the makeup, also a lot of accessory. Not only the hand mirror, you get 2 little scrunchies, which is always a cool thing. I use them daily, so cool. Then you get a little bit of, I don't know, like tiny whatever shit. I don't know where I would hang stuff like this. I don't know. It has a little bell here, and I think you're supposed to hang this outside maybe. I have no clue. If you are familiar with the Chinese culture and these little accessory things here, decoration things have a certain meaning, please enlighten us all so that we completely know what this is all about, because I feel like this has something to do with the theme of Gold Digger, but I'm not 100% sure. You also get this little thing here. This is actually quite cool. You have 5 little coins here, and then that bell here on the bottom. I mean, they look very pretty. They just look like made with a lot of love. You also get these little bands here, and they do have some tiny accessories to it. This one I think broke because I think it is supposed to look like this. I don't know if you can tell, but one side isn't properly glued to it. But then you also get this one, and this has the same little figurine like this one. It's basically just a smaller version. I don't really know what to do with this, but my first thought was to wear it as a choker. but I don't think that a choker is fitting me since, you know, I have a round face, I have a bit of a double chin, and chokers only look good on faces with super skinny girls. Then you have this little, honestly, I don't know what that is, but it looks nice. So this one is a super long gold chain, and again, I have no clue what this is supposed to do. I guess you are supposed to put this on the little suitcase so that you can wear it as like a shoulder bag. But you know what I do with this super ass long chain? I will wear this as a necklace that I just put around my neck 3 times, and then I just tug it in place so that it looks like a layered style necklace. Why do I say necklace? It's necklace. I'm sorry. But of course you are the most curious about the makeup. So the first item is an all-in-one face palette. This is quite an interesting piece of makeup. I'm not 100% sure what I am supposed to do with this. So, according to their explanation, this is a contour powder with a darker and a lighter one. This is an eyebrow powder with a darker and a lighter one. This is a classic highlighter in 2 tones. And this has not a real description, but I guess it is supposed to be blush. I've seen swatches of this on the website, but we will swatch it throughout the video, so I just put it aside. Then we have 6 mirror glaze lip glosses. These are not their lip stain glosses, these are real glosses, and I'm very, very excited for that. The shades, I did some swatches with the unboxing reel, but we will do swatches here too. They range from a light glittery gloss to a super dark, I think cool toned brown gloss. It's not quite black. They're very, very pretty, and I can't wait to then apply them on my lips, because so far I only swatched them on my hands. And last but not least, we have 2 eyeshadow quads. We have number 52, Draw a Dragon. So amazing. Look at this nice true neutral color story. So look at this very, very beautiful color story. I'd say this is a true neutral color story with a silver shimmer, and the first shade even has a dragon embossed in the shadow, but I swatched them already for the unboxing reel, so they of course have a bit of a damage, but we will swatch them in this video too. Then we have number 56, and that is Finishing Touch. And this is once again an all shimmer quad. So here you have a peek inside. They all are duochrome and feel very nice. I can already spoil you, have a thin formulation, which I really adore. To me, this is not my first rodeo with Girlcult Cosmetics. I already have 4 other palettes from them. One is one of the 15 pan palettes, and this is in collaboration with the makeup artist. I think it's Lize, Lize. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering that name. This is an all matte eyeshadow palette, and I have used a couple shades out of this already. The matte formulation is outstanding. It is truly mind-blowing, and I love it very, very much. And then of course I also have the shade 51 Black Lettering. Oh, I have done reels with this, or 1 reel I think. Guys, if you love cool toned eyeshadows, more gothic-y looks, this is your vibe. Then the quad that I haven't used yet is number 42, Coming to the Magical City. This is also an all shimmer quad. And now my favorite quad from Girlcult, this one. I know it doesn't look different to this one, but the inside, this is number 52, Like Fire. This was the quad that got me sucked into Girlcult. This is the quad. When I saw this for the very first time, I immediately wanted to have this, because this is not a typical black. This is a satin cherry cola black. Oh, stunning. I love the shade. I am truly in love with this, and that's why I just couldn't hold back when I saw that Girlcult has a new collection. But I think I rambled now enough. You saw my bare potato face enough, so let's now just dig into the looks. Oh, and while we're sitting here, can we please acknowledge the current status of my skin? Because this is no makeup. I couldn't be happier at the moment. It's still not perfect, that's completely fine. I have some spots left, but 98% of my face are now healed, and finally I look like an adult person and not like a teenager in puberty anymore. Since one of the quads is an all shimmer quad and the other one has mattes, I will of course combine the two. So I think that's the most logical thing to do so today. So I'm starting into the quad 55 with the lightest matte shade in here. Ooh, this is so freaking powdery, but you know how I feel about powdery shadows. I actually do like them since they just blend so easy. Oh, I forgot the swatches. Okay, let's swatch now. First the palette. I'm sorry, I totally forgot since I swatched them already in my unboxing reel. So this is the Draw the Dragon quad, and now let's just put some nice one finger swatches up here. Oh, look at how pretty they are. And now, of course, let's also swatch the other one again. They make me so happy. So here you have number 56. Finishing touch. Oh boy. Ah. We haven't done this in a very long time here on the channel, but this is influencer fish biker approved. And just the OGs who have been here since I started the channel know what the influencer fist bite is. So let me know if you've been here since that time. Now back to the makeup look. I'm now tapping into the second matte here in the Draw Dragon quad. And this one I use here in the crease, in the bit outer V area too. As per usual in those videos, I try to incorporate, of course, as many shades as possible. By the way, when I'm holding the mirror like this, let me tell you a little story. I, a while ago, got a DM from somebody and they were asking me why the fuck do they always have to see my mirror? Because it is very, very unprofessional, and they wanted to give me tips on how to set up my camera setting without you having to see my hand mirror. I didn't reply to that. I actually deleted that comment instantly because, not comment, the DM instantly, because I don't wanna bother myself with this kind of energy. But if you were asking you the same, but you were too polite to ask, by the way, a question is so much better than saying seeing your mirror is very unprofessional. I can't see. I cannot even see the microphone that is like 30, yeah, kind of 30 centimeters away from me. I can't see that properly because I have such bad vision. I need a mirror. I need to see sharp myself in the mirror. I have to hold it up like that. That is how close it has to be. So, I truly envy all those persons who can do their makeup and have like a big mirror here outside of the camera. I can't do that, but actually at this point I feel like it kind of became a running gag, because whenever there are new people on the channel, on Instagram, on TikTok, they're always commenting my hand mirrors. So maybe I should start a cool mirror collection so that we can just explore mirrors together. I now tap into the black and I use the black here, of course, on the outside and deepen everything up. This eye look now with the silver all over the lid, and you have a beautiful neutral slash leaning cool toned eyeshadow look. And my plan is actually to apply now every single shimmer. So let me just tell you quick what I want to do. These three will be the lid colors. So inner lid, center lid, outer lid. This one is either going to be inner corner or brow bone. And then this one also inner corner or brow bone. I'm not too sure in what order I will do that. That I will decide when we are at that point. I haven't done a three-toned shimmer look in a long time. I kind of stuck to using a max of 2 on the lid, but I don't know. With this one, I just want to use them all. I want to see the full shebang. So as per usual, and I know this is a very often critiqued part of those reviews, I apply glitter glue. And I highly advise you to do the same with every single eyeshadow. It doesn't matter if it is a luxury one, if it is a true loose pigment, if you're using a multi-chrome, it doesn't matter. Apply a glitter glue and thank me later, because that will change everything in your makeup application. So I'm starting with the darkest one here. That's the one with the hollow flags. So pretty. And I apply this here on the outer third. Basically, I'm covering the black. I'm lazy. I just flip my brush and now I go into this one that shifts reddish green to my eyes. I'm very curious how in editing this looks on the camera. And this one goes into the center. Ooh, I see gold and pink too. Red, gold, pink, some greenish. Very pretty. I now tap into this one, and this I already have to tell you. This is quite different from the others because this is very, very flaky. And it's also quite hard to pick it up with a brush, so I hope you can see this. I picked up a couple flakes and then I just pressed them on, and then I start by rubbing my brush here on the eye to kind of break the flakes up and just blend them in. Personally, I am not a fan of those super flaky shades, but it always depends a lot on how these flakes later perform. So for example, there are flaky shades in the Adapt Cosmetics Minka. I always refer to them as the flakiest indie flakes of all time. These are a level of flakiness that are too much because these flakes, when you apply them, they do not break up on the lid. They kind of stuck there. If you apply too much, they get crackly, not cool. These flakes though, when you apply them, you tap them on and then you just start rubbing them out, they break up on the lid and then they just turn into a beautiful eyeshadow. Is this at the end eyeshadow with an extra step? 100%. I think we could have done this shade also in this more thin shimmer formulation, but I appreciate the fact that these are easy flakes. For a moment I thought this flaky inner part here is cracking as other flakes do, but it isn't. It just, or is it? No, I don't think so. I have to check later if it is. Okay, to finish now the eyes, I go into the black again and I smudged this here on the just outer third. Then I go into that middle-ish blending shade. I start in the center, blending it inwards and then also outwards on top of the black. And then I just mix it so that we have a nice blended smoky look. I now tap into the lightest matte again and I just smudge that underneath. So now take the first shade in the finishing touch, 56 quad. This is now the inner corner highlight. And I just dab it here. Ooh. How freaking blinding is this? This shade is right up my alley. Let's now tap into this shade. It's very, very pretty silver. And this is the brow bone highlight. When you apply this like very packed, opaque-ish, then you will definitely see the super duper intense silver base that it has. But here for the brow bone highlight, I am kind of diffusing it a bit and I'm not applying too much. The base is still there. I feel like there is a bit of a gray cast going on. So I should have just switched brow bone and inner corner highlight, but doesn't matter at this point. Both look beautiful. But yeah, I like it. I think it's such a super cool sparkly shade. So the eyeshadow quads, I have to think of something that I need to complain about because I don't have anything. I think they're both close to a 10 out of 10, so I give them a 9.5 out of 10. Now, the eyeshadows are done. Let's talk about the face palette. And this time I will swatch first. So we're starting with the shimmer. Personally, I hate split pans because they always end up being together. And can you see the slight difference? So this one here is the lighter side. This is the more pinky side. This lighter side has the tiniest purple shift to it, while the pinky side has more of a translucent base. I actually don't see a lot of pink anymore. Now let's move on to that super light pink, and it is a super light pink, surprisingly. So I swatched it now very heavy. There are literally dry flakes here, but my fault, I swatched it that heavy because I wanted to apply it that heavy. Can you even tell that there is something? I feel like this would also make a great under eye setting powder, but I don't know if I would grab this palette then specifically for an under eye setting powder. So next up we have the two shades of contour. I swatched them now separately, but honestly, I will end up mixing both. So we have the darker one and the lighter one. The darker one has a tad bit more warmth. The lighter one definitely a lot more cool tones. And I kind of forgot that this is supposed to be a brow powder. Again, I don't know if I would grab this palette specifically to use this for my brows. Probably not, but here you have both shades. This is the lighter one. This is a classic taupe. This is a darker taupe. Actually, they look decent. I can see myself using this actually in the brows, but will I remind myself of grabbing this palette to use it for brow product? Probably not. So my first impression without using it actually is I think this is the most random curated face palette ever. To me, a face palette is blush, contour, highlight. Maybe just blush, maybe even just highlight, whatever you prefer. Honestly, this random brow powder or this as a random setting powder, that just confuses me. I probably will remember using this if I put this here on my desk, like not in one of the drawers on the desk, or maybe in my focus box for the next quarter. Let's just now apply the product. So I'm starting with the contour. I'm taking the NARS Ida brush, and as I said, I am mixing it now. I do mix it, which is quite cool because now I have a dark and a light side. And no, that way around. I want to have the dark side here towards my ear and the lighter side not so much. And now I just apply it and flick it up a bit. I really don't know if at the end, when applied and blended, there is a true difference between the darker and the lighter one. This just has, as the eyeshadow, a lot of fallout. Let me blow that off. And now everything is in the pink. Okay, that was a mess. I mean, this side looks weird because I do have a bit of a spot here, so yes. But overall, I think the tone is a bit... Am I crazy, or does this look just a bit weird? I don't know. Maybe on camera it looks better. Now let's move on to what I think is a blush. Actually, on the website, it's not really written or described what this is supposed to be. It just says pale pink powder. So I take my Rephr 5, I loaded the brush with the pigment, and this also is very, 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 very powdery. And huh. Okay. Casper just called. He wants his powder back. Oh, shoot. Okay, I think this is not a blush. I think this is an under eye setting powder. Oh, this does not look good. Yes, this is definitely an under eye setting powder. So we have now here in this palette a contour, an under eye setting powder, a brow product, and a highlight. Again, I see where this has a use for certain people. To me, this is super duper random. So now let's just pray that the highlighters are good. And again, it is a split pen. You know what? I swirl the shit out of this. Ooh, the brush is intensely coated. So let's just put this here on the cheeks. Yes, this is stunning. It's definitely a very interesting highlighter look, but it also can be because of that very weird blush now. But it looks pretty. I like that. I, by the way, have powders everywhere. Oh, and if you wonder why I'm not wearing the necklace anymore, ha, said it right. I don't think this is supposed to be a necklace. It was just an idea, but I don't know if the redness is still there. I am mostly allergic to everything that is not a pure metal, so like pure gold, silver, whatever. I cannot wear this more, I don't want to say cheap jewelry, but you know what I mean. The ones that are more on the cheap side of the price range, because they have different metals mixed in, and I'm allergic to most of these. So that's fine. If you have an idea what I can do with this big chain, let me know. I want to just mention some things about the highlight. I always highlight the Cupid's bow, but because of its super duper powdery formulation, the whole area here underneath my nose is highlighted too. So, I hate to say this, but I'm not a fan of this actually. I just want to add that I just saw when looking up close in the mirror, everything on my face is full of glitter. Not from the eyeshadow, from that highlighter, because it is so powdery that it just flies around when you use the brush. You know, when you apply it, you know, you have this this movement, and then of course the bristles, they just leave your skin and they flick off, and whatever is left as pigment on the brush, it just will fly around. And depending on the powder formulation, this can happen more or less. And I either just used the wrong brush for this, because the Rare Beauty, no, not Rare Beauty, Real Techniques setting brush is quite a stiff brush, but that is what I actually love. So maybe when I use something like the Charlotte Tilbury one that is super soft and the bristles do not have, because of that softness, so much movement, they just rather like smooth on your skin, maybe then this won't happen, but actually, this is now one of those days where I'm like, good for me that I tried this not on a work day. So, because I look a tad bit ridiculous on the face, which is a shame because my eyes are so pretty. Okay, we're starting now with the shade J804 Broken Silver. And this is just a clear gloss. with the effects. I shouldn't talk when I do this. But yeah, this is just a classic clear gloss. It has some silver specks to it, so let me just once more swatch it here on my arm. You can barely tell that there are specks, so I like this gloss actually. I think it's just very tying together look, so I don't mind that this is so sheer and just has some specks to it. Next up we have Jade A05, Waking of Insects. This one has also an incredibly intense translucency. Personally, I don't mind that. Look at this beautiful shade. I'm very bad at swatching, by the way, but you know this at this point. It is a warmish, browny nude on my lips. Kind of like my lip color, but more intensified. Next up we have J806 Wasteland Style. And as you can tell, this is also super duper sheer. Like, there is barely a color payoff, but that is quite common for those mirror glosses. Some of them have a base tint to them that will stain your lips, but most of these mirror glosses will be super translucent. And this color is very, very similar to 805, but I think this has a more warmy undertone to it, and just, it looks even a tad bit orangey, doesn't it? Just a tiny bit. Next up we have 807 Daughter Red, and don't be afraid, this is definitely not a red. It's reddish, but it's not a red. To me, this color has a lot of warm terracottas to it. It has, but also some kind of oxblood to it. And I love shades like this. Look at this subtle dark red going on here. That just matches everything so freaking good. Next up we have 808 Clever Escape. And now we're getting in the opaque region. My application is very, very bad. I'm sorry. Although this is also a mirror glaze, you see the opaqueness here is rising. This is definitely more opaque than all the other colors. But look at this beautiful tone of brown. And I know, who am I even that I'm telling you that brown is a beautiful tone? But I love this lip gloss. I don't know how much you can tell, but my lips are full with glitter because all the glitter that is on my upper lip is now raining down on my lips. Fine, isn't it? And last but not least, my possible fave. I haven't worn this on the lips, but this is 809 Escape from Earth. This is a straight up neutral brown on my arm swatch. You know what? This time we'll make it the other way around. Oh, look at this. How curious are we how this will look on the lips? Well, I, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm a 12. Let's apply this. Oh boy. Can you tell that this is my fave? I love this. This is borderline black, but it clearly isn't. This is a true dark brown, absolutely stunning. A hint of warmth, but not so warm that it turns into a weird puke shade. And also not too warm that it kind of crashes with my cool toned hair. Here you have them all swatched underneath, and I love how the first three are true translucent glosses. They're very, very sheer, very, if you will, so daytime friendly. Depending on what to use, daytime friendly. For me, this is daytime friendly too, but I know everybody's taste is different. And then with the last three, we just have the opaque rising to the top. Love that. And I just removed them from my arm, and aside from the fact that there is a bit of glitter left from the first gloss, I don't know how much you can tell, but the last three have a slight stain, but not as stainy as, let me grab them, For example, the Girlcult glosses from this line in this packaging, they have true stains. This here, the Gold Digger ones, is just a teeny bit staining. So that is basically it. That is the whole new Gold Digger Belle collection, I think is the full name. I don't know if I said that in the intro, I don't think so, because on Look Healthy store, this is called the Gold Digger Belle collection. I saw on other websites that this is called differently, but I'm referring to it as the Gold Digger collection. Again, if you want to get this or certain items from it, I'm more than happy if you use my code ELLAGRAM on Look Healthy store. They are absolutely amazing. If I had to rank now everything here in this collection, my least favorite item is, I think no surprise, the face palette. This, if I were you, I would skip. If you cannot explain to yourself how you will use this on a daily basis, you will not enjoy this a lot. If you are somebody who has a very curated collection and a palette like this with a contour, a highlight, a brow product, and a setting powder is something you would grab daily, this is a good thing. But I am somebody who has certain products for certain steps, and it already bothers me to the max that I don't know where to put this, because actually this is a face palette, but if I put it in my drawer with the face palette, all the other face palettes are very different because they do not have brow powders in them. These face palettes, as I just said, are mainly cheek stuff. So it already bothers me. But again, this is not my favorite item. I would use it again because I really want to see how maybe this works as a setting powder, how I can incorporate this with different brushes, and how it just can work, maybe even as brow powder. The lip glosses are amazing, and if in this collection were no eyeshadow palettes, I 100% would rate these at number one, but the collection has quads, and I am just such a fan of the Girlcult formulation. One of the bests I own. As said, this and other Girlcult stuff is available on Look Healthy store. Customs are covered and you can save 12% with my code ELLAGRAM. I think I said this now 3 times, but I truly am a big fan and supporter of this shop, and I was over the moon when I had a chat with the owner of the shop and they agreed to work with me in an affiliate relationship, which is just amazing because I do shop myself there all the time too. Let me please know down below, what is your favorite item out of this collection? Is this maybe now the collection that will draw you to Girlcult? Will you now just finally dive into the pool of Chinese makeup? I would be more than happy if you join this club. So thank you as always for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, comment something if you don't know what to comment, comment Girlcult. So yeah, I hope I can see you in the next one.